don't need...
Found you.
junk. I've heard about these tunnel-boring machines, but never had the opportunity to see one of them in person. To just throw the bodies of these miners here. This is so disrespectful. Okay, that's it. Time to sell some of your junk.
Please disregard. I attempted an informal...
are locked in.
Hello.
Good to see you. I hope we have what you need. Was there something you needed? Yes, of course.
It's a little surprising, isn't it? Out here on the edge of UC space. But it's just so quiet.
If there's anything I can do for you, please say the word. I hope we have what you need.
really did think this place would see a bit more action.
How may the Trade Authority assist you? May I be of service? By all means.
Airlock integrity looks good.
One of these days, we need to actually get some sleep after going to bed.
Hello, Captain.
Yeah? This area's off limits. Authorized personnel only. Yeah, I bet you do. Thank you. Hard to argue with that. Fine, I'll issue you an access card. Infinity better get it together.
Sean, I don't want to go over this again. I'm tired, all right? Just not today.
You can't be okay with this, though, right? You took an oath, and I'd say this is a firm violation.
Look, we got that shipment. I don't know what they expect us to do with it, but maybe approvals really are on the way. Now, please, get back to Kai. Make sure his vitals are stable. I don't want to lose him. We'll figure this out. I promise.
Fine. But if we lose Kai, that's it. I'm going to SSNN. I don't give a shit about my career anymore.
You and me both. We better get that approval soon. Excuse me, but this is a restricted area. You need to leave. Your timing could be better. A little warning next time? I'll just take a moment to check up on my patient.
Great. I'm traveling with a criminal.
This damn contract will be the death of me.
Another day, another shift. Gotta hand it to these doctors. They put in a lot of effort.
Captain, it is.
Welcome to the Freestar Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship. All right, we're done. Have a good time in Neon.
Rachel?
Line of equipment and accessories.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
We're wasting time.
Is that my beautiful shipment? You were right about this one, Masako. So I've heard. Now, I shall excuse myself and get to work on finalizing this prototype.
So, what did you learn about CM Station RC-1? The mercenary group? Only that you mean business if you hire them. They're not known for subtlety, and don't care if they leave a trail of bodies in their wake. I take it they were at the station? Lucas must be desperate if he hired them to collect the Rothicite. Were there any survivors? Good. I may not condone murder, but I refuse to have sympathy for indiscriminate killers like Ecliptic, especially after massacring innocents working for us. Now, I also had a report that you were spotted at the clinic. I take it you traced the shipment there? Dr. Lane. I believe Vina is familiar with his work, specializing in neurosurgery. Were you able to determine what he was doing at the clinic? Human trials? Without even completing his product? Oh, Lucas must be insane.
To hell with corporations and CEOs and profit margins. People have died, and you aren't showing the least bit of remorse. Ugh.
I'll make sure Yuko's team extracts every bit of information they can from the clinic's database on this. Between hiring Ecliptic and unauthorized human trials, we have enough to take Lucas down for good. And with the Rothicite secure, it's almost time for us to make our move. It certainly is. And it's also time to inform the rest of the board on the current situation. Head up to the executive floor and speak to Dalton. He has an update for you on the mole's identity. I've called a meeting, and I expect you to attend. It's time to put the final plan in motion.
If you attempt to engage me in combat, I will be forced to detain you.
Good. You're right on time. I reevaluated all the evidence. It took every resource I had, but the final answer is clear. Ularu is the mole.
I had a feeling Imogene wasn't responsible. That poor woman.
In due time. I'll be reaching out, but right now we need her to remain in hiding. Indeed. I've briefed Masako and discussed her plans on handling this. While we both agree Ularu is guilty, we need irrefutable evidence before presenting this to the board. For now, we lead everyone to believe that Imogene was the mole, and the situation was dealt with.
Must that poor woman's name be continuously dragged through the mud? These nonsensical decisions need to stop.
Imogene is a resourceful woman. I have no doubt she's in a safe house of her own design. In fact, she probably sees this as a paid vacation. My guess is she's lounging on a couch somewhere, binging all those movies she hasn't had time to watch. Good. Keeping Ularu in the dark is the key to taking her down. Masako has tasked Ularu with writing the program to bring down Infinity Ltd. We believe she'll take the chance to incriminate Masako within the program, so this could provide the evidence we're looking for. You will be tasked with the assignment to infiltrate Infinity, so before you go, I want you to bring that program to me. I can't imagine a more satisfying ending. Now, let's attend a meeting. We called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogene Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget, the mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives. Watch me.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity Ltd, and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority, the experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
botched human trials and murder for hire? You don't bounce back from that. At least not with Infinity's legal team.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Masako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send down the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this. Good. I can tell Vina is going to enjoy working with you. Vina will be waiting for you in the neuroamp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
Are you sure you're okay? You left pretty fast.
Don't cause any trouble.
I really thought that formula would be the one, and it blew up in my face.
Double check those measurements are right. Anesthesia always makes
This
me nervous.
unit is not suited for addressing mental health concerns.
Ah, here's my lucky candidate. I hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey. Oh, don't worry. That's not on the agenda. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, we'll be putting you under. I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus got everything entered correctly.
Did I not just say I quadruple-checked the numbers?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured. Fine, fine. I get it. Now, just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we should be good to go.
I hope you know what you're doing. I worry about you. Be safe.
All right, let's get this party started. Well, look who's finally up. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing. So, how are you feeling? You look good? Huge success. No surprises, no signs of rejection. You were the ideal subject. Now, we just keep our fingers crossed and hope no unknown side effects come creeping in later. That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation. Now that's something to talk to the drone engineers about. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says. That's the spirit. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
one hand, I'm fascinated by the incredible technology. On the other, I'm terrified what could happen should this fall into the wrong hands. I've never been so divided about something in all my life.
Oh my god, that was incredible! What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now. I'm curious if any other side effects may manifest.
So, tell me all about it. How did it feel? Any side effects? Yes! Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment of disorientation. It's truly remarkable tech. Not at all. But I can imagine if I experienced disorientation like that, but regained my awareness in another room, it could be a bit jarring. We'll definitely be running some more tests in the future, though. So many situations to account for. Maybe that's the beauty of it. You'd never know. Besides, the neuroamp isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions our subjects sanction in their own minds.
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, Masako wants to see you. It sounds like you have an assignment to complete, and DeMarcus and I have a lot of notes to record.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my latest experiment will be a success.
I wasn't sure. Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neuroamp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. All right. Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have two options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer, in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse, so I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
Any mercenary or disgruntled worker can go shoot a place up. You're a Ryujin operative, so start acting like one. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd., all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Exactly. And what the public doesn't know doesn't hurt them.
With tech like that, I can see why you'd want to maintain control of the narrative, though I strongly object to the methods.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Oh, let's just hope this program is as thorough as you say then. And as safe.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. My thoughts exactly. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. And that's what we're hoping for. If you can pull this off, even I'll be impressed.
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem necessary on their own to confirm the story. You and me both. So, Any final questions before you go? You have the ability to manipulate others. If someone's in your way, you could get them to move. If someone has a keycard, that means you have a keycard. The possibilities here are really up to you. You'll be restricted to the marketing floor. An appointment is not a free pass. Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up. Skylar Lumen?
This deal could be huge for my company.
I've been waiting here for ages.
Do you have the program? I'm certain Ularu won't pass up this opportunity. So, let's take a look. Aha! The decryption's hit a snag. There's definitely something here. This is exactly what we needed. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity Ltd network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials.
First Imogene, now Masako. Ularu keeps using people as rungs on the way up the ladder. Any one of us could be next.
I'm going to copy the necessary files off this slate and issue you a new one. I want to keep this one intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Good. Then let's nail Ularu right to the wall. She deserves everything that's coming her way.
Yes. And had you not brought this program to me in the first place, you would have been the one planting the false evidence. Without that falsified evidence, Ularu is in for a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Masako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind.
Anything I can... help you with?
Hey there.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Not sure if those were rooms
You got this.
Easy for you to say.
Welcome to Infinity Ltd's corporate headquarters.
Infinity is human.
Hello. Did you have an appointment with us today?
We need people like you. Even with your brains.
Ah, yes, from Lumen Interactive. The elevator here will take you to the marketing floor. Once you arrive, you'll want to talk to Ellis Ortiz. He's the receptionist there and will be happy to help you.
Go Timberwolves!
Welcome to Infinity Ltd's marketing department. Desi notified me that you are on your way. If you just have a seat, I can notify Miss Hart that you've arrived. Hey, please, have a seat. I'll go notify Miss Hart that you're here. Feel free to use any of the facilities on the floor while you wait. The break room and bathrooms are just around the corner.
Gas leak detected. All non-essential personnel must evacuate the building. Please find the nearest exit and contact emergency services.
terrific! You picked the wrong day to piss me off! Got him! Suspect
just steal that.
You know, I went to chef school.
You don't need to wear your helmet.
You can't go in. You just can't.
But David's my friend. He writes me.
I bet whoever came up with bad news travels fast wasn't taking interstellar distances
help
into
you?
account.
But I came all this way.
Listen, I'm...
Is that so? Spoken like a true tabloid reporter. What's this so-called story about?
Best!
Corporate greed claims victims once more. And you have evidence to support this claim. Perfect stranger or not, we won't air anything without some sort of hard evidence. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Of course. I just hope your source is as reliable as you think they are. Maybe your friend here would care to comment?
My colleague has said everything you need to know, but on a personal note, I'd like to add that the corporate world is definitely not for me.
I see. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
I've just got a feeling about you. You have a story to tell. Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps. If you're part of the David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst. A cog in the machine. If you mean literally, Nadia Mufaz, head researcher of the office. So if we got any facts wrong, I'm the one who files your complaint into the shredder. Sorry. Long day. Longer night. How about a do-over? Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you work, really work, for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Sounds like an old pickup line. But it really has, hasn't it? I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? Sounds like maybe you're being modest. Security isn't exactly trained for that scenario. But all right. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things? You never know quite how precious life is, until it's under threat. It sounds like New Atlantis, heck, the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here. If you feel that way. Hey, Constellation?
from all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one. My source is back. Here to report anything else? You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I hear the robbers are provided free of charge. All part of the service. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? Wait, what? You cleaned them out? Jesus. I'm sorry, but I might have to dig up some witnesses to confirm that. Anyway, these things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt? That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this. You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. Refreshing. So what were the pirates doing there? It's not their usual MO.
Tell them about the ore. That was quite a lucrative operation.
Bad blood between the fabled Constellation and the Crimson Fleet? Has all the markings of what we in the SSNN call a story. So what's your role in all this? Part of a tour group? Wow, an actual member of Constellation graces my office. Do we bow? Maybe smoke a pipe? So we've covered the basics. How about any harrowing tales of daring do? How'd a bunch of miners triumph? Huh. Sounds like a good outfit. The heroic miner is a good angle. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report. If you have a new story for me, I'm very happy to pay your fee. What a sordid mess. We've got some other sources we've been interviewing, but I'd love to get your take on the record. So there was a mercenary company, the First, and they were involved in taking farmlands from Freestar Collective families. Extortion, death threats, murder, all of it. Is that right? Not going to say. I will never, ever give up my source. If anybody asks about you, they get the same answer. I genuinely don't know how people like that can live with themselves. So all of that? Terrible. But Ron Hope, the Ron Hope, was involved with it at the highest level. All of that suffering was a plot to save Hope Tech from going under using the side effects of a fertilizer he developed. Let me be blunt. The other sources say you killed Ron Hope. Is that correct? And all that money didn't help in the end. After all of that, the future of Hope Tech is an open question. Their stock has already taken a beating. Not sure if it's going to go into freefall. Any comment? for what it's worth, I'm rooting for them too. Thanks. If you listen to the news, you'll definitely hear this. And, maybe try not to ice any more CEOs. Just a thought.
Careful screwing with the security around here. These idiots aren't quite as honest as the Freestar Rangers.
But here at Reliant Medical, we've got you covered. Our treatments.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be?
We have plenty of space available. Maybe after you've rented a room for... Sorry. I have one all set, and... Are you planning on an Please, enjoy your stay.
Welcome, off-worlders, to the Hotel Bullseye. Your home away from home.
I wish all of our moments together could last forever.
People joke, say those maroons.
I believe you were specifically told that we did not want a body count on this assignment. Your best is sorely lacking. All the tools at your disposal, and yet here we are. I hope you at least attempted to use the internal neuroamp. And yet not useful enough to avoid a body count? Still, it's good to know the applications are proving themselves. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
The murders are believed to be linked to a new investigation where Drexler would have been accused of numerous violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. So this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith. Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception.
Shed any employees. Ugh, terminology like that, where you reference manipulating people's lives. Oh, it makes my skin crawl.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them. Yes, that's exactly what it's designed for. The bright side being, they'll never know. Good. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work. Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished. I'll overlook your poorly educated statement. For now. Throwing your competitor a lifeline when they're about to crash and burn hardly seems wise. Well, it does make Ryujin look good. And we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. I can only imagine the contracts that will be pouring in. We'd almost be literally in control of anything we wanted. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
Hey there. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp. I'd be the next Ray DeCaris, my childhood hero and mentor. How amazing would that be? DeMarcus, eat your heart out. Don't tell him I said that. He knows I love and respect him. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? Exactly. Not that I want to gloat over it. Maybe just a little. Okay, so DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it, so fingers crossed this deal goes through. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side? In this business, there's always a side. And right now, I'm backing Masako. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. All right, I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it. Don't I know it? I think Alexis and I are truly gonna have our work cut out for one another. We'll discuss security ramifications with Dalton, and I'm sure there are alterations, safety nets, if you will, that we'll need from Vina. It's sure to be quite the undertaking. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
At least if you're here, you're not screwing up out there. Great, the bane of my department. If you need something, make it quick. Not much to discuss there. I believe I've made my case quite clear to Masako on why I am against it. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. When it comes to profit, I suppose all my arguments do fall short. I do pride myself on solid contracts, and this one would be especially challenging. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Are you trying to add to my stress right now? First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
I couldn't agree more. It should be completely banned from the settled systems.
In an ideal situation, yes. And I suppose creating that ideal situation is within my power. Now you've made it sound like a proper challenge that I can't help but accept. Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
You operatives really will wear anything. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of, should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees? Your disdain is noted. And perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation? And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement. I agree. Should Masako had informed us too early, we may have all turned on each other. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. That blasted tech.
Indeed. That technology shouldn't be used for such nefarious purposes, or in fact, any purposes at all.
If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. I suppose you're right. As long as I'm fully aware of the risks, I can properly account for them. My first priority will be to get the board and all security members set up with shielding as soon as possible. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
It's good to see you again.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd.'s botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
Legal ramifications are a certainty, but the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages.
Arguments?
Infinity Ltd. could be the Pandora's box of financial and legal risks. I simply cannot support an acquisition.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office. and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? If there's nothing else, this meeting is concluded. I'll be following up with a few of you shortly.
If only there were more hours in the day.
You're looking interesting today.
So, Infinity Ltd learned a lesson the hard way, and we exposed the traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. It's well earned and deserved. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
Yes, I'm proud of you as well. Ularu needed to be brought down. If you wouldn't have stopped her, who knows what she would have done next.
My thought exactly. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.